Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Loza, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, we're kicking off day 5 of the Podcast Day Challenge for class of October for the US, Canada, Australia, and the world. And after a powerful talk by Mary, we're going to be doing the teaching for day 5, which is putting it all together. So let's get going straight up without any time wasting. 1 second. Let me find the right screen. And I don't share anything that I'm not supposed to share. Where is it? Where did it go? Okay, right here. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna fly through because, yeah, event here, and then we're gonna get going. Do you guys see my screen? Okay, so as I said, today we're gonna do put into practice the final puzzle of what we've been talking all week. Step 1 was identifying a zone of genius, and that led us to identify the number 1 pain point you can solve, and then for who. And now the last piece of the puzzle is, where is that person hanging out the most? And that we're gonna be talking about today. That's the first thing we're going to do. So for most of us, it's either Facebook or LinkedIn. For me, up to the end of last year, 100% of my clients were coming from Facebook groups. Now I'm slowly starting to expand into LinkedIn. So let's do some quick. I want to hear from at least 2 of you guys. Where is currently your ideal avatar hanging out? Is it Facebook, LinkedIn, or other platform? Who wants to share with us?
For me, I think it's Facebook, definitely.
Yes, Facebook. Guys, Facebook groups are an absolute gold mine. Let me tell you that. If you do it the right way. Facebook groups. Okay. All right, thank you for sharing. Let's hear one more.
I just did a thing today and asked ChatGPT. I gave them a description of my avatar, and I said, where would they be? Where would I find them? And they said, primarily, the first place is in LinkedIn, and the second place was YouTube, and the third was Facebook groups.
Okay.
But the dominant one was LinkedIn.
And yes, I have mine on Facebook.
Sorry, can I mention something about the ChatGPT and the AI?
Please.
Yeah, so basically they are very good tools to use when you wanna maybe write an email or ask some questions, but keep in mind that some of the answers they give you, it's kind of like they how to say it, they actually being programmed to tell you that answer, and the reason is because of the government behind it. I'm not gonna go to the political stuff. Just I'm gonna say that because those platforms are the American platforms, so basically ChatGPT wants to lead you to those platforms. So, but in my opinion, but in my opinion, for example, right now, the best is TikTok.
Really?
Yes, because TikTok during these years, was created, actually got more users than the Facebook during these years. But TikTok by next year, 15th of January, is gonna be banned in the US. So that's why when you ask ChatGPT or any artificial intelligence about those kind of things, so they doesn't lead you to TikTok. So I'm just gonna say that, yeah, don't rely on AI much. Just it.
That's a great point. Absolutely, yes. Thank you for sharing that, Raman. All right, let's move on. Now, so again, once you've identified where is your ideal client hang out the most, all you have to do is just putting yourself there, and I'm going to show that to you in the next few slides. Now we're going to be talking about building something very important, and that is your foundational 10-15 episodes. I highly, highly, highly recommend everyone, before they publish their podcast, to have at least, I would recommend 15 to 20 episodes recorded, and at the bare minimum, at least 10 episodes. And that's why there's 2 main reasons for that. One, those first 10 episodes can be just you interviewing people you've already worked with, your current clients, past client, or even Just reach out to each other in this group right here. We have already more than 10 people. Interview each other. And that's going to do two main things. One, is going to be basically on-the-job training, how to find the right people, how to schedule them, invite them, how to record, edit, upload, and promote and all that good stuff. That's a on-the-job training. And also that's going to allow you to build your portfolio, so to speak, because when you do go and reach out to people you don't know but happen to be your ideal prospects, the first thing they will do, they want to check you out. Oh, let me check this person's podcast. If they see you have less than 5-10 episodes, not interested. Person is not serious. It sends all the wrong messages. But if they see you have 10, 15, 20, the more episodes you have, the more seriously you'll be taken because the message that will be sent is that, hey, this person is committed. This person is, this serious. And this person is, they want to be part of something that's serious, that's successful, because nothing attracts success more than success. So this is why it's very important. And also, of course, give you some social proof. So this is why I highly recommend for you guys, before you press that publish to officially publish your podcast, have at least, the sweet spot is 15 to 20 episodes. And honestly, it doesn't take long to achieve that. Within, let's say, between 2 to 4 weeks, let's say a month, if you go and build 20 episodes as a portfolio first. But if you do the bare minimum 10, you should bang that out in 7 to 10 days. Just reach out to people right inside this call right now. That's more than 10 people right there. So this is why it's very important for you to have a foundational 10, 15 episode. Do you guys see how that is important, how that makes sense? Let me check the chat. Okay, where's the chat? Yes, absolutely. Go on each other's podcast. Okay, awesome. Now, let's move on. So let's map out your first 5, 10, 20, 100, 1,000 episode. And once you use the same framework, it's the same for all episodes moving forward. So again, once you build your foundational 10, 15, 20 episode, then you can start reaching out and inviting people that you don't know, but who happen to be your ideal prospect, listeners, and clients. And all we do is simply, we reach out to them, we invite them. The script that I use is very simple. Hey, David. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Jimmy. Hey, Shiny. My name is Payman. I'm the host of Lee's Web Podcast. I love what you're doing. And I would love for you to come share yourself on my podcast. Using this simple but incredibly effective and powerful script. In 4 years, and having had over 400 guests on my podcast, I only had 2 people say no. One was a lady about to give birth. Sure, we had to reschedule it. And the second one was a gentleman that was about to move from the US to Germany for work. And we had to reschedule it. Nobody has said no to me using this approach. Now contrast that. If we're to do what everyone else is doing, it used to be smile and dial. Now it's spam the crap out of people on Messenger, on LinkedIn, and whatever. When you spam people, your message are not even replied to. They don't even open it. And that's why a lot of people burn out and go out of business very fast, because it's not a fun way to do business. By inviting, you're going from less than 1% conversion to literally between 95 to 99%. Oh, hell yes. Just send me your calendar. Just say when. This has been my experience, the experience of all of my students from Academy, and even people from the previous free 5-day challenge who have just implemented that. They've been able to book guests left and right, and getting clients was just this method. Do you guys see how that is powerful? By just inviting as opposed to chasing. Does that make sense, guys? All right, here's one of my most favorite quotes that I've been saying since I've been doing this for the last 4 years. And that summarizes what I just talked just now. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase someone. Instead, invite them. Let me repeat. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase someone. Instead, invite them. And that applies not just to business, but even to your personal life. Try that with your spouse, your kids, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friends, your family, your siblings. Try that and see you're gonna get a much more different approach and answer, because this is powerful. You don't want to be the one chasing, you want to be the one being chased. And honestly, when you invite someone to on your podcast to share their story, you're doing them a major favor, because you're gonna make them look great. You're gonna make them look shine brighter than gonna shine, because everybody wants to go on a podcast, share your story, talk about themselves, talk about the podcast. Even if your podcast is just starting, even if your podcast is very small, in 4 years, I only had a handful of people ask me, so how many subscribers you have, how many downloads you get, and we'll ask them, and when I reply to them and respond to them, that for me, it's not about the numbers, it's not about the vanity numbers or metrics, but it's about the connections, the deep conversation. Then they understand it. Again, implement this in your life, in your business, you will see a completely different response. Does that make sense, guys? Cool, awesome. Let's move on. So let's summarize what we've seen, what we've covered so far in the 5-day challenge. On day 1, I shared how podcasting completely transformed, changed, and even saved my life. Day 2, we looked at the benefits of podcasting for both you personally and also for your business. Day 3, we started doing some really deep work, which is the foundation of not only a successful and profitable podcast, but also profitable business, and that is identifying your zone of genius, your avatar. And because that's what's going to allow you to build a business where you can speak from the heart by sharing your story, and you can connect at the highest level with your prospect. I've mentioned that I have a guide as a bonus to give you. I haven't done it yet. I will do it tomorrow. I've been so busy. Apologize for being late, but I'll post it tomorrow inside the Facebook group. That's my promise. I'll share it with you. And yeah, just follow those steps and you'll be able to basically launch your podcast in 3 easy steps. Day 4, we took your zone of genius, your gift, and we started crafting your irresistible Godfather offer. And I really hope that you took that seriously and implemented it, because that's really a game changer. And today we looked at a path to leads on demand, and that's what I just shared you by identifying the last piece of the puzzle, which is where is your ideal audience hanging out, and simply putting yourself in front of them and inviting them on the podcast. And one other thing I want to share, on the podcast, I don't sell, I don't pitch. Instead, I use my podcast. What podcasting is absolutely phenomenal, and that is to have heart-to-heart conversations, to get to know the person as a man, as a woman, as a human being, first and foremost, before the businessman, businesswoman, to build that trust, that rapport. And once you build that trust and rapport, that's when the magic happens. Opportunities open, wallets open, doors open, and so on and so forth. And I invite you guys to the same on the podcast. Don't sell, don't pitch, but use that to build trust, to build connection, to build bridges with people that you normally wouldn't be able to get access to. That's something very important. Now, let's take a look at the next step, and that is putting all of these together. So what I've shared with you for free so far is enough for you guys to go out, if you implement them, to get leads on demand literally by next week. And after that, depending how good your offer is, how on point is it, and how good you are at speaking from the heart and closing, you should be able to get a first paying client in as little as 30 days from now, literally. But now let's take a look at the next step and how we can implement that into your business. Oh, this coffee is killing me. Anyway, so remember what I shared with you guys since I believe day 2 or day 3 as to what is the number one reason most coaches, entrepreneurs struggle to get any traction online. That is, whether it's to get leads or clients with any consistency. That is because they lack clarity. We covered yesterday about the cost of clarity, lack of clarity in your business. Now today, let's brainstorm and see how that applies to us and how we can fix it. Because if you're struggling to get leads, if your message is not on point, you're going to struggle. You're not going to get leads. And when you have no leads, no clients, no business, no money. And as a result, you're facing the real threat of shutting down your business and looking for a job. Nobody wants that. So this is why it's incredibly important to have laser focus, clarity on your messaging. And the best way to have that, to achieve that, is to go back to day 3 and really spend the time, brainstorm, do some soul searching to identify what is your zone of genius, each and every single one of us. And then take that zone of genius, that's gonna, and go through the content of day 4 and day 5 to identify what is the number one pain point you can solve that's going to be based around your zone of genius. For who, remember what I said? The ultimate avatar is no one than you just a few steps ago. Build your business, build your offer, build your podcast the way you wished existed when you were starting on your journey. That's the ultimate way to build a very powerful, impactful, purposeful, and very profitable business. So now let's take a look at, here are some common pain point that I've faced, most of you have faced. Now let's see which one of these you can relate the most with. So raise your hand as I read each of them, or put in one in the chat. Are you struggling to get warm, quality, and responsive leads for your business consistently? Who can relate with that? Okay. Are you wondering where your next lead or your next client is coming from? Who can relate with that? I used to. Are you tired of not being seen and getting any visibility in a crowded red ocean market? Raise your hand or put in the chat a 1 if you can relate with that. Are you tired of charging so low that you're always struggling to make ends meet? And that's a common mistake we all make, because we don't value our gifts. We undercharge because we feel that we're not good enough, we're not worthy enough. The typical imposter syndrome that we all face. Are you tired of attracting the type of prospect who think that anything over, let's say, $500 is too expensive, and they're asking you for a payment plan for anything over, say, $200? How many of you can relate with that? I certainly can. When I first started, I was getting those kind of people, and that's not a good way to build a business. That's not at all. Also, are you tired of not having a reliable system where you can get your exact ideal avatar leads on demand and clients organically? Here's a key: without spamming, and even if you have no audience. How many of you can relate with that? I certainly can, because I used to be in that place. Raise your hand or put it in the chat if you can. Put a 1. So what are you going to do to change that? Let's take a look at some of the options here. So now let's take a look at where you are right now. Are you an author, coach, speaker with a high ticket? Let me summarize that. Do you guys have already an offer of at least $1,000? Raise your hand and put it in the chat. And we're gonna, I want to hear about some of you guys' offer in the next slide. So if you have currently an offer of at least $1,000, pounds or euros, either raise your hand or put it in the chat. Because we're gonna take a look at that and see how you can literally take that to the next level and start getting your first paying client in as little as 30 to 60 days from today. Now, are you looking to skyrocket your visibility? Not in the entire world, but among the people that really need you. People can really resonate with you among your crowd, your tribe. Are you looking to build your authority and be seen as the expert, the leader, the authority in your field? That's something that's the ultimate goal that we're all going for. And you want to connect heart to heart with the exact ideal audience and attract them organically, so that you can get leads on demand through your very own profitable podcast and YouTube channel. And in the process, finding your voice, amplifying your impact, and sharing your gifts, and in the process also being very handsomely rewarded and make the kind of money that you finally deserve so you can have the impact you want. Can you relate with that? Raise your hand if yes. Of all of these, let me go one slice back. Of all of these, which one is the one that is the most painful right now for your business, that you're struggling the most in all of these? Let's hear at least one or two people. Is it because you have no consistent system to get leads and clients? Is it that who wants to go? Go ahead.
I'm tired of not having a reliable system.
Okay.
So we actually, though, have figured out a way of doing that and got somebody working on that. But when it was all left up to me, it was like
Too much.
too much to learn, too much to work out, too much, period. So
what if I were to show you by just making one little post tonight as a test, you can have 20 to 50 leads like this? Who would be interested in that? And these are not random leads. These are your exact ideal clients, prospects. Who would be interested in that? I wasn't planning on sharing this because that's what I share inside my academy. But for you guys, as my way of saying thank you, I would be willing to share that later tonight. Are you guys excited? Okay, cool. Now that we look at what is your pain point, now let's take a look at what you're striving for. Which of these is the number one thing that you would love to have right now? Skyrocket your visibility, building your authority, connecting with your audience organically, getting leads on demand and clients organically, finding your voice, amplify your impact, or making money. Which is the one that you really, really, really would love the most right now?
I want to amplify my impact and share the gifts.
And why is that? Why is it important to you?
Because I feel it's a calling.
Love that, love that, love that. Thank you. Now, let's move forward. So again, as I've been saying over and over and over again, having a laser-focused messaging and clarity is absolutely paramount. That's the name of the game. With how competitive the marketplace is and getting more and more competitive, we cannot afford to be lazy and just be vague in our messaging. We can no longer get by with, I help people become fit, happy, or financially independent. That's not going to cut it anymore. We need to be very, very, very specific. And if there's one thing I hope that by now it's become very obvious for you guys, is that we all need to become as clear as possible in our messaging. Does that make sense, guys? Because the more specific you are, the more clarity you will have. The more clarity you have, the more magnetic your messaging will be. The more magnetic your message will be, guess what? The more profitable and impactful your offer will be in your business, your podcast. Here's some other incredible benefits of having a laser-focused clarity in your messaging and offer. You will attract first and foremost a much higher caliber of people, prospect, clients, listeners into your ecosystem. Why is that? Because when you have a laser-focused, a very specific messaging and target and avatar and pain point, you will attract people who also have that clarity, that know what they want. And guess what? The people that have clarity, they're successful. They understand the value of time and money. They understand the value of self-investment, and they have the disposable income to do so, as opposed to attracting the tide kickers and the people that think that anything over $200 is too much and everything over $500, they need a payment plan. With all respect due to those, because I used to be in that spot myself on both sides of the spectrum. When I was first starting, absolutely beyond broke. And then I was attracting people like me. But I had to make a shift. And that shift was basically by me being very specific in my messaging, putting myself with people that are next level. And that's why the reason I myself invested in Jay's program. I paid him a lot of money. Some of you can know is not cheap. And this has helped me tremendously. Because again, when you have clarity, it's going to elevate you to the next level. And as a result, you will attract people at that level. Do you see how that makes sense? And as a result of that, your very best clients will be your podcast listeners, as I explained on day 1 and 2. Because when someone listens to your podcast, they will view you as a friend. They will see you as one of their own. You will have built trust and rapport with them, as opposed to someone who doesn't know you from whoever, and you try to pitch them or tell them your offer. They're gonna not interested because they don't know you. Because again, as I mentioned, day 1, business, especially high ticket offers, but one thing and one thing only. Start with a T, ends with a T, 5 letters. Trust. Podcast is the most powerful way to build that trust by having heart-to-heart conversations. Anyways, we've already looked into that. Here are some benefits. I'm not going to go to that. Already talked about that. Here's one other things I will say. The last few benefits of having your own podcast. The first one I've talked about already quite a lot. For me and for all of my students and for you guys as well, it's gonna enable you to find your voice and amplify your impact, elevate and position you as being seen as the authority, expert, and leader in your field. And most importantly, also, podcasting is an incredible launching pad. For example, starting my little podcast 4 years ago, not only allowed me to get back on my feet financially, but also blessed me with a very successful, prolific podcast, a very thriving international academy, allowed me to get into realizing one of my dreams, which has launched my books. I've done 4 with Mary, 4 times #1 international bestselling author. My podcast was what allowed me to get, literally as it fell from heaven on my lap, to do my first TED Talk. All of this because of this, and only God knows what's going to be next. My eyes are into doing more TED Talks, especially in Asia, as well as, public speaking, corporate training, and so on and so forth. With one of my students, we were talking about starting a school, literally physical school in the UK, bringing podcasting to schools, to businesses. So again, it's an incredible, fantastic, phenomenal launching pad for bigger things, opening doors and opportunities like nothing else. Because again, it's all about trust, visibility, and putting you in front of people, making your voice heard. All right, let's get forward here. So I just mentioned that. Okay. So launching your own podcast, not just podcast, sorry, profitable podcast. Yes, I am biased because that's completely changed my life. It's the next best thing. It's the next logical thing, because from my experience, nothing comes close to the ROI that podcasting brings you, because it's all about connection, trust, sharing your story, and that good stuff. Go ahead, David.
Yes, sir. I don't know where to bring this question in. You talk about, bringing in and selling your course and things over 1,000. My stuff is all under that.
Okay.
And I have some other, since I've talked to you, I've got some other stuff too, because it can be just a 15-minute or a free PDF or something like that goes into a stand store. But I really want to use, I can go on TikTok, Facebook, and we can look at that, Instagram, a variety of those. And you talk, 2 questions I have. I really just want to collect emails.
Mhm.
That's the foundation. I want to drive emails.
Mhm.
And then secondly, you talk about you had very little. There's a lot. I'm trying to. My brain is going here. You got a very little as far as sharing on your YouTube channel. I know it's every exposure helps, but it seems to me bigger than what I'm seeing, because it seems like you seem to get a massive exposure by doing podcasts, and I don't understand it, why it's like that. So, and will it work with a model like myself, since I'm not a coach yet? Would it be easier for me even to start doing a podcast with somebody else? And because I don't feel like I'm the expert, but I have enough to interact and make that podcast work. So,
When
so
I
I've got a lot of
started,
questions there.
yeah, what I recommend, these are great questions. I will share my calendar at the end of this call. Book a time with me for next week. Let's have a one-on-one to really
That's-
brainstorm. But
Okay.
to answer in a nutshell, what I would say, when I started, I was a nobody. I didn't think I was an expert in anything that was monetizable, you know. But in the process, I found my path, my voice. The first thing for me was to overcome my shyness. Overcome my shyness that allowed me to become more confident. That allowed me to get my acts together, get back on my feet financially, and so on and so forth. It all started with this, unlocking here. Because there's a saying that says the sky is the limit, but then I realized sky is not the limit, because the sky starts literally right here where you had hands. If that's where the sky, that's a pretty low sky, low ceiling. The real limit is right here. Once I change the story I've been telling myself, change my relationship with money, surrounding myself with people that uplift me, that inspire me, that, you know, that are where I want to be, such as Jay and other people, it slowly started to also uplifting me, helping me finding my voice, my purpose. As far as you wanting to do low ticket items, I can guarantee you, David, that you have incredible gifts inside of you, that people will be lining up to pay you handsomely. And that's what I want to have a one-on-one call with you next week, to really uncover your gifts. I want to know more of your story. Yes, we met exactly a week ago, but unfortunately we didn't get enough time to talk. But let's have a proper chat next week to really uncover what's your story, basically. And that's going to allow us to identify your zone of genius and what is something that you can share, you can sell for a high ticket, for $1,000 or more. And for someone like you with experience you have, should be easy peasy to find something from your story. That, again, what I always say, your crop is your gold. Whatever major life-changing, yesterday on Wednesday, I shared the 4 ways to identify your zone of genius. One is your professional background, natural God-given talent, high income skill, and any major life-changing events that you overcame. I'm pretty sure that one of them applies to you. And that's why I want to have a one-on-one call with you to really identify what is the one that we can craft an irresistible offer and a business around for you. And the podcast is going to be the marketing arm of your business.
All right, I'm open. I'll see you
All
next
right.
week.
Absolutely. Awesome. Diana, finally we see you on the camera, my friend. Where are you hiding?
Hi, I'm so sorry. I'm out with my family, but I wanted to be here. So I was like, I'm just going to be here, but I'm going to be on my phone, guys. Just
No
ignore me.
worries. We have your blessings. You're here in the house. So thank you.
No, of course. I wanted to tune in because honestly, and I kind of wanted to talk with to David, I guess, or kind of piggyback on what you said. I'm not sure exactly what program you do digital marketing through or where you learned it from. Well, can you hear me? Oh, okay. Perfect. Sorry, guys. But that being said, give me 2 seconds. Vengo ahora. So I am also a digital marketer, and my podcast, I bring fellow digital marketers in to share their story and things like that. So I definitely think if your goal, like mine, is to bring out the message, but also generate, more emails and kind of like get that flow running of emails, podcasting definitely is a great way that I've seen, at least from my, my side, happen, because one, I'm sharing my story, two, I'm letting someone else share their story, and people are hearing all of that and then becoming interested. And at the end, I just say, hey, you guys want to know more? You want to learn more? Hop in your email on my website. Yeah, there you go. And,
Or even better, invite them on your podcast.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that'd be the next step. But at least that's where I'm at right now. And I just wanted to put in that 2 cents there because I really, connected.
That's more than 2 cents, Don't undervalue yourself.
Thank you.
That's a couple mil. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Book a call with me for next week. Let's brainstorm together.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you so much, my friend. All right. Do you have anything else? Anything else to say? Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, let's move forward. So again, let's take a look at math. Honestly, the math is simple. It doesn't lie. If you do one podcast episode a week and your offer is on point, you bring the right people, you should be able to get one client a month through your podcast. Now, if you go all in and you do one podcast episode a day, Monday to Friday, which isn't too complicated or too time consuming, because keep it short, 30 to 45 minutes, you should be able to do one podcast a day. And you invite the right people, your offer is on point, and you're good at speaking from the heart, then you should be able to get one client a week. Now, let's take a look at even more number to see how powerful that can be. But before we do that, I'd love to hear some of you guys' offer. What's your offer? How much is it? And share it with us. Who wants to go? Let's hear at least one or two people. Who wants to share their offer with us? Anyone?
Sure. I have a course that I'm running, 7 weeks on freedom. And the offer is 500 pounds or $747 dollars. And in that, I give them is 2 hours of teaching a week and at least 1 or 2 personal times where I pray with them.
Beautiful. Love that. But why only 500 pounds and not 1,000 pounds?
Because it's my beta program.
Oh, I
So-
see. I see.
So it's a beta, it was the first one. And so in talking with Jay, that was the
Mhm.
that was the recommended starting
Yeah,
place. Next time, it's going to be 1,000.
Awesome. Awesome. And then leverage testimonials. The more testimonials you get, the
Yeah,
more you can give
I've got
yourself
them. They're
a
building.
raise. Especially
Penny's
get
gonna be a testimonial, by the way, David. Penny has a testimonial for me. You tell her that.
I just talked to her. She's doing it tomorrow night with me.
Woohoo!
beautiful. See, magic.
They
Magic in the hair. All right, awesome. Awesome. All right, let's move forward. So again, speaking of math, let's say your offer is $2,000, which is honestly pretty much on the lower level when it comes to transformational offers. If your offer is $2,000 and you do one podcast episode a week, one client a month, that's okay, an extra $2,000, nothing to get excited about. But that's an extra $24,000 a year. Not too shabby. But if you were to go all in and do one podcast episode a day, and you were to get one client a week, now we're talking. Now we're talking at what is it? 8,000 a month or over 100K a year. Now, how would an extra $100,000 affect your life and your business? And that is organically, without spamming, without ad spend, and with the exact ideal audience. Even if I have no audience, how would that completely, I won't say transform, but positively impact your life? Let's be conservative here. How would that impact your business? Let's hear that. Do you guys see how powerful that is? Seriously?
Yeah, it was good.
All right, cool. Now let's move
Yeah.
on.
Life changing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, the magic happens if you were to go all in and do one podcast episode a day, which is honestly not asking a lot of time. Keep it short, 30 to 45 minutes. That's anyways the sweet spot for a podcast length. Say an hour a day of your time. Do you think spending an hour a day is worth it to make 100K a year? And that's not a pipe dream. So that's what podcasting can do when done the right way. So let's go.
Can I ask
to,
a question,
Please.
Lorette? Yeah, I hope it's not off path, but just when I look at sales,
Mhm.
I can go and do some Facebook ads. I could do TikTok. I could do that. and I'm really driving people to a certain spot. But the biggest money-making game is really like lives on Facebook. If you're going to use Facebook, lives is where you close because it's relational and attraction marketing, like we're talking about. What
Yeah.
is the difference between Facebook Lives and podcasting?
Beautiful question. Thank you for asking. A Facebook Live, yes, it's powerful. I'm live streaming all my talks for that reason that you mentioned. But a live after a day or two gets lost in the sea. Whereas a podcast or a YouTube video, you can always reference to it very easily. Good luck trying to find a live you did last week, let alone 2 months ago. See what I mean?
Okay. That's a big thing.
Huge, huge. And also keep in mind, because of the attention span of people is less than a goldfish, most people go on Facebook to see pictures of the dog, the cat, the friends, and whatnot. They don't want to be distracted by some guy.
You got something against my dog?
Absolutely not. I love dogs. I love dogs. We have a beautiful Labrador. I love this guy. He stole my heart. So, anyways, let's go move forward. So you guys know my story. I'm not going to spend any time on that. The reason I'm here today is because of podcasting. Now we have two main options. The first one is, think this is cool and do nothing, but say it's not for me. Or you can do something powerful, something really transformational, and ask yourself a powerful question, and that is, how can I implement this into my life? How can I get my exact ideal leads on demand? What if I were to launch my profitable podcast so I can get leads on demand and clients organically? That's what I'm having. If I may, I have a very special exclusive invitation for you guys to come take this to the next level, to join my academy, the November class, which kicks off on November 11th. Well, I just need to update the time at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. And for those of you in Australia, it's going to be starting on Tuesday, November 12th at 11 a.m. Sydney. I believe that's the correct time. If it's not, please correct me. So if I may, I'll share with you the academy. Academy is very straightforward. Keep it small in numbers because, again, I want to work with all of you guys almost on a one-on-one basis to ensure that you succeed. We have one live coaching a week on Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and for those in the UK at 1 p.m. UK time. And then you get one daily video lessons Monday to Friday, Tuesday to Friday of those weeks. And we also get one extra bonus Q&A at the start of the week to review the content of the previous week. I have a small group, private Facebook group, and Messenger. You get unparalleled support from me. From the moment I wake up to the moment I sleep, I'm here for you. If there's anything that is bugging you, you can message me, say, can we get on a quick Zoom call? And I'd be happy to jump on a quick Zoom call with you. You're my number one priority in those 4 weeks. And we have all those experts, again, that's going to come inside the academy and do much deeper talks on the zone of geniuses. Now, the academy is 4 weeks. That's a structure. Week 1 is foundation. Foundation meaning we take what we started this week here about the zone of genius, and we spend an entire week to dive deeper into that, to really build that. Week 2 is all about the tech. And I'm going to cover that in a moment. Week 3 is how do we ensure that we have a smashing good launch. And week 4, and that's a game changer. And that's something I added just recently in August. It's one thing to get leads, but what people really want is to get clients, paying clients, make money. And that's why I call it Money Week. And I'm going to share with you guys 5 different ways to make money through your podcast on week 4. Let me quickly go over the overview of each week. Week 1 is all about the clarity, the why, the who, and the what. We're diving deeper inside the zone of genius, really deep. Then, as you notice from the structure of this challenge, everything builds from the previous day. Day 2 is going to be naming your podcast the right way. Day 3, the format. Should it be just you speaking, you with a co-host, or a round table, the ideal length for your podcast? All of those are very key strategic decisions. There's no guesswork. Everything is very, very logical. Day 4, the frequency. How often should you launch your episodes? Daily, weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, and so on and so forth. What platform? What type of content? And day 5, we're going to put all of that together and see where can we get the high ticket clients, the high quality client guests, sorry, on your podcast. Week 2 is going to be about anything tech related, because that's one of the things that's holding people back from launching a podcast. That was definitely holding me back. Day 1, what I've been using since I started, what I started with, and what I would recommend for a started podcaster to get going. Day 2 is all about artwork. We're going to create all your artwork leveraging Canva. Day 3 is going to be, actually, we're going to be recording our first episode as if I was right beside you showing you how to record. And day 4, we're going to take that recording, editing it, uploading it. And day 5, we're going to look at the various hosting options out there. Week 3, again, how do you have a smashingly successful launch? I'm going to be sharing with you first an effective launch strategy, then a much more aggressive strategy. Day 3 is my favorite day of the week, which is leveraging the tremendous power of press releases. And that's something not many people are doing. And that's a game changer when you do it the right way. Press releases and getting into the media. Day 4, social media mastery and mastering Canva. And day 5, marketing your podcast beyond the launch. Because even though the goal of this program is to launch a podcast profitably, that is only the starting point of your journey. And then the game changing was me adding this 4th week, the money week. It's one thing to get leads, but what people really want is to make money. And on day 1, I'm going to be sharing with you how to leverage Facebook groups to get visibility and build your audience from scratch. Day 2 is one of my favorite days, and that is building your winning program effortlessly in as little as 7 days. That's the same principle and approach that all the big boys, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Russell Brunson, whenever they're launching a program, that's the exact same approach they're doing. And that's how I've launched my program 4 years ago using that same approach. Day 3 is about getting your first paying client in as little as 30 days, sometimes even as little as 10 to 14 days by simply implementing what I'm going to be teaching you. Day 4 is something that's completely changed my business, and that is, oops, there's 2 people here wanting to be in, okay. And day 4 is something that completely changed my business, and that is running your first profitable 5-day challenge. Because a 5-day challenge is the best way to get high-ticket client. Over the course of 5 days, you get an opportunity for them to get to know you, build trust and rapport, and for you to display your expertise, give them a taste of what it's like working with you, just like you guys have been doing with me for the past 5 days. And day 5, and that's something that I get really inspired by Jay, and that is leveraging the tremendous power of testimonials. You guys all know Jay's story by getting 43 testimonials in 30 days, was able to bump his rates from $500 to $10,000 from one class to another. And that's what really inspired the hell out of me. And I've become literally a collector of testimonials. I don't end a call with someone without asking for the testimonial. So again, testimonials are game changers. So all of that, week 4, are going to really, really take your business to show you how to get your first paying client in as little as 30 days. Because what we're doing, we're not just launching a podcast. We're building together a profitable business that is based around your zone of genius, your gifts. And the podcast is going to be the platform where you're going to market and achieve that. That's what we're doing. So my invitation is for all of you guys in here and those watching on Facebook or watching the replay is to book a call with me for next week. Let's brainstorm to identify further your zone of genius, to hone in on your irresistible offer and see how we can implement having a profitable podcast for your business. Because again, let me summarize that. We are not just launching a podcast. A lot of you already have a podcast. What we're doing, we are building an impactful and profitable business through podcasting. That's what we're doing. And this system is going to allow you, it's going to be a 60-day program for you to having a reliable system where you can get leads on demand and clients organically, even if you have no audience and without spamming. That's what you will get through this program. And this is what I'm offering you. And I will share with you at the end of this call, exactly as a gift, how to get literally 10 to 50 leads in the next 24 to 48 hours by just making one single post in a very specific group. And that group will be where your exact ideal audience avatar hangs out. And I'm going to show you an exact case study of one of my students from the UK. She did that and she was getting incredible results. I've done it. Each time I do it, I get 50 replies. And these are all people raising their hand. Hey, me. That's it. So do you guys see how powerful that is? What we are doing is much, much bigger and deeper than just launching a podcast. We're building a powerful, profitable business, impactful and very profitable business through podcasting. Do you guys see that? Does it make sense? All right. Here's my invitation for you. That's my humble invitation. If you go to my website, my program is selling for $5,000 right now. But for the attendees of this call, I will give you a $1,000 scholarship. So therefore, your investment will only be, as Jay likes to say, silence, only $4,000. And that offer is only for the attendees of this challenge. And come January, because Jay is pressuring me, it's going to go up. Because of the results I'm having, because of the transformation it's bringing for people. This works. I'm the poster child for it. I went from being in hell to living the life of my dreams because of that. Because once you understand that business is about all a relationship nurturing process, it's all about building trust, and you leverage podcasting to achieve that, building a business around your zone of genius, that's when the magic happens. And with the way we're going to build your offer, build your business with only one to three clients, you will recoup your investment. Because again, this works. So again, please book a call with me for next week. Let's brainstorm. Let's see how we can implement that into your business. I'd love to get to know more about your business, your story, so we can really unpack and uncover your true zone of genius, and then use that to build your irresistible offer and build you a profitable, impactful, and purposeful business through podcasting. This is what we're doing. Again, we're not just launching a podcast. And this is what I tell everyone I talk to. If all you're looking for is just to launch a podcast, you don't need me. Just get a microphone from Amazon for less than $100 and off you go. What we're doing is building a profitable business through podcasting. Do you guys see the difference? Let me catch up with, oh, there's 30 messages on. Okay. I would need to save the chat. Exactly, yes. Diana, that's beautiful. Yeah, a lot of them. Okay. Okay, Elizabeth, thank you. I would love to connect with you. Not being seen because of still hiding. Yes, Sarah, I've been there. Okay, Stephanie, thank you for being with us. On Facebook, yes, we connect. Shani, yes. Okay, beautiful. Wanted to get a job. That's beautiful. Yeah. Memes, okay. Yes, beautiful. Awesome for doing your podcast live, Dianara. Okay, love it. Yes. Yes, Squeezy, only 4K, my friend. So that's, first of all, thank you for being with me, for your time, for your trust. We completed the 5-day challenge. People are asking me to come. I can smell the beautiful, delicious food downstairs. All the relatives are here. Thank you for completing the challenge. Means the world for me. I will share that. I don't have the time now. I will share 2 things with you guys tomorrow. 1, that blueprint for you to launch your podcast in 3 easy steps. And 2, that case study from one of our students that got, 45 leads in just 24 hours. I will share that with you tomorrow. That's my promise. So again, book a time. Let me share my calendar on the chat. Let me stop sharing my screen. Oh, we still have 12 people. That's amazing. Okay, let me find my calendar here. Come on. Why is it taking so long to load?
City set up.
One sec. Why is my calendar taking so long to load? Almost finished. Shut down.
Probably overbooked.
Okay. Maybe yes. Probably. Maybe yeah. Why is it taking so long to refresh? Come on, Calendly. Anyways, let me find it another way.
Go to dinner. What?
Sorry?
Payment, just go to dinner.
Yeah, my brother just came and opened the door. Say, are you done?
I know.
So listen, guys, I love you all. Thank you for
Thanks so
being with
much.
me. Thank you for being
Thank you.
flexible.
Amen. Bless you.
Book a time with me. Let's finish with a prayer. You want to pray and give
Amen.
us a prayer?
Well, Father, I thank you for this time. Lord, we thank you for Payman. Lord, we pray you bless him in his time together with his family. Lord, I thank you that you are speaking to each and every person. And Lord, we pray that you blow their minds, blow our minds with what you're doing, Lord, in this time and in this season. Bless Payman as he goes to his family now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Amen.
Okay.
One of my
See you, babe.
mantras, my soul aligned dream clients are coming to me. Who's meant to work with me, come to me. And what's meant for
Amen.
Amen.
me will
All
come to
right.
me. So, guys, love you all. Book a time for next week and have a fantabulous weekend. And tomorrow
Amen.
I'll share
You
this
too.
with you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.